Girl to girl, let's talk about that super uncomfortable phase in life where you have a vision and you're the only one that can see it. The people closest to you, girl, they think you're cringe, they think you're stupid, and some of them even went as far as to tell you to your face that they don't agree with what you're doing or they think it is madness. Some of them even mock you or belittle you. That is what we're going to talk about in this video, because I will not let those people trick you out your spot. By the way, I'm Tabia. Wagwan, thank you so much for clicking on this video. Now let's go right into it. Here's the truth. A lot of people, most people, they don't support the struggle. They don't support ideas. They don't support startups. They support what is already successful and what's already doing well. If you're lucky, you'll have family, friends, boyfriends, husbands, etc. that is supportive. But for a lot of people, when they want to do anything outside of the box, it will not be supported widely. So for a very long time, you're going to have to be okay with looking stupid until you become successful. So there's this story that point reminds me of in the book Think and Grow Rich. And it's of this guy, right? His idea was that he wanted telephones that were not connected by wire. So he wanted wireless phones. And at the time, y'all know how phones used to look, child. So y'all know what was there. And this guy was talking about walking around with phones wireless in your pocket. So his friends decided that it would be a good idea to have him mentally evaluated. So they took him to a mental institute and had them check if everything is going on right up here. Because what are you talking about? You want to do phones that is not connected to a wall by cards, etc. So you have to understand that a big part of why you're not getting any support is because seeing is believing. So if they haven't seen it done before in your family, in your career, in your industry, in your market, they won't believe that you can do it for real, because you're coming with something that they've never seen, and seeing is believing, and they haven't seen it done before. So it's hard for them to support you, because a lot of you guys watching this right now, some of y'all probably hate your mothers, hate your fathers, think your friends are haters. And I'm telling you, what's really happening is that they cannot help themselves, right? Sometimes they really just have not ever seen such a thing done before, and you are coming and they're seeing you as you. They don't think you're special. They know they can't do it, right? They know they can't do it on their best day. They can't do it. So when you come and you're saying, basically, we grew up together, we eat the same food, we're from the same place, so they're looking at you like, we're basically the same. Why would you think you could do this if I can't do it? They don't think you're special. Even if you're special, they don't think you're special. So they don't see how logically you could pull this thing off. So they are projecting their limitation, their weaknesses onto you. And you have to understand that not because they didn't say you can do it doesn't mean you can't do it for real. I want you to do something for me. If you take a pen and paper and you write the word, I said pen and paper. Child, if you take a marker and you write the word gifted right here and you put it all the way up to your face like this, right? All the way up. What is going to happen is you can't read it. And that's the problem with you and the people that's not supporting you. You are too close to them. The proximity is blinding them. Because you're so close to them, they cannot see your greatness, your gifts. It cannot be seen. You're too close. They're too familiar with you. Oh, you that always talk and laugh like that, you can do such a great... No, absolutely. They don't believe they could really be in proximity to such greatness. They don't believe they could really have birthed the first millionaire in the family. They don't believe they could have birthed the first person to finish college. They don't believe they had birthed the first person that's going to open food chains. They don't believe that they really birthed the first person in the family that's going to own many, many barbershops. They don't believe, they can't see it. They don't believe that the next upcoming rapper could really be their child or really be their friend. They don't believe that the best content creator that's going to come out of 2025 is literally someone that they grew up talking with and laughing with all the time. So it's really hard for them, because of proximity, to believe that such greatness could be around them. It's the familiarity, because they know your weaknesses. They know you. They know you're just a human being, right? So it's kind of hard for you to convince people who knows you, like really knows you, that you're capable of more than just making them laugh, more than just having a phone conversation and listen to them vent, more than just let them borrow your money or you borrow their money. Some people, they can't get past what they know about you, if you understand what I'm saying. But what I want you to understand is that their limitation of you, or you being so close that they can't see what you carry, is not something that should stop you from pursuing what you want to pursue, right? They don't have the last say. It's not your fault they can't see. It's not your fault you're so close and they can't see what you're carrying. And it's the same reason too why you can post something on social media, for example, and people would be they're supporting you, they're doing all the things. Meanwhile, they can't do that for someone else that they know, because what? Again, the proximity. They're too close. So proximity can be the reason why people can support you, because they just know you. They know you too much. They know your story. They know your shortcomings. They know the last 3 things that you started that you didn't finish. They know the last 2 things that didn't go too well. So they have this history of who they think you are, and they want to keep you into that box. Sometimes probably you need to put yourself out there. Let the market decide. Sometimes you need to put the video out there. Let the strangers on YouTube decide. Sometimes you need to put the website up on Shopify and let the market, let the consumers who don't know you decide. Because sometimes when you're asking these people that know you, all they're thinking is you can't pull it off. How are you gonna make 100,000? How are you gonna make 10,000? They can't see it. So sometimes you just gotta stop asking, stop telling, stop sharing with them, and just put it out there and let the strangers decide. Strangers decide, because they're far enough to see what's going on. So the solution is not to cuss with anybody. The solution is not to cuss them out. The solution is not to fight with them tooth and nail to see your worth, see your value, see your gifts, see how great your idea is. That's not the solution. The solution is not to get pen and paper and show them and explain sentence by sentence and step by step how your plan is or what your vision is. No. They will not get it. It doesn't matter how you communicate it. It doesn't matter how you break it down. They're just not going to see it because you're too close. The familiarity is blinding them, right? So that's not the solution. The solution is to have enough self-belief in yourself to take you to where you're going. So even if there is not one single person out there that believes in you, you should have enough self-belief in here to bring you to where you're supposed to be in your future and into your destiny. That is the solution. Rely upon self-validation. Stop looking for someone to tell you your idea is good. Stop looking for someone to tell you your product is good. Stop looking for someone you know to tell you that, oh girl, you can do it, I support you. Like, girl, forget all that. Just make sure enough is in here and put it out. And you know how life is funny? As soon as you arrive to where you're going, after they never believed in you, never supported, never liked, never shared, never bought anything, never motivated you, and motivation is free, never talked to you, never poured into you, as soon as you arrive, those are the same people that never helped you with the recipe, but they want piece of the bread. And some of them, they will behave so entitled, especially if they're family members. As soon as you get to where you're going, they're the same people that want the most help. How you decide to handle people that never believed in you, but they want to come and eat your bread after they didn't help you with the recipe, that is completely up to you. I'm not here to give you advice on that. I'm just here to tell you, make sure you're not looking for validation from people that is close to you, because your closeness can blind them, okay? When you tell them about your goals and their response is, well, that's risky, well, that's ambitious, or I don't think that's a good idea, or you're sure you want to do that, when that is their response, what could be happening is that they genuinely believe that you're making a mistake. And what they're trying to do is to save you. It comes off as discouragement to you, but to them, they're just trying to save you. They're just looking out for you, right? And here's something that I'm going to say that a lot of people won't be brave enough to tell you, but I'm going to tell you, okay? Somebody's going to click off this video, I'm sure. But listen, they might be right. But before you click off, let me cook. There is a chance that they might be right. Okay, there is no guarantee if you upload the content, it will work out. There is no guarantee that if you start the business, you'll make thousands and thousands of dollars. There is no guarantee that if you go back to school, you're gonna get all A's and you're gonna get employment when it's done. It is true that if you invest all that money into the stock market, that you'll probably lose it all, right? So yes, they might be right, but they could also be wrong. Well, I'm just gonna say to you, you have the right to exercise your free will. You have the right, regardless of what the outcome is, to try to see what will be. Because guess what? You don't know if they're right, and you don't know if you're wrong, and you don't know if you're right and they are wrong. So the only way to know is not to assume, but to actually do the thing and see if you were right all along. So next time they come to you and they say, I don't think that's a good idea, don't take all that risk, that is too unstable, you know, say to them, listen, I understand where you're coming from and I completely understand the risk, and I'm okay with whatever will be the outcome. Because the reason why they're trying to save you so bad is because they think that you're unaware of what could go wrong. They think you're unaware of possible failure. They think you're unaware. That's why they're trying to save you so hard. But it's up to you to let them know, listen, I don't need saving. You're probably not going to say it the way I said it, right? But you're going to let them know, listen, I don't need saving. I know what I'm doing. I am fully aware of the risk. I don't need you to try to save me, because I don't want to get to 80 years old and wonder if the life I had lived was the best I could have done. I don't want to get to 90 and said, I wonder if I had posted that little content on YouTube, what would have been the outcome? No, you don't want to be that old lady. You don't want to be that guy that wondered, I wonder if I had put out the album. I wonder if I had went back to school. I wonder if I had actually opened the mechanic shop. I wonder what would have happened. Like, you don't want to be that person. And that's what you need to explain to them, if you're going to even explain, because you don't have to say nothing to nobody. So I know a lot of you don't want to hear that someone could be right and you wrong. But the other day I was scrolling on Instagram and I saw this girl. She was like, girl, I should have listened to my mama when she said I should have stayed in school or something like that. And she was basically explaining how she went out to be a makeup artist and she made 6 figures. So at that point she was right. But then eventually she lost passion for it. She started to hate it. It was weighing on her mental health and she decided she no longer wants to be a makeup artist. Problem is, she doesn't have a degree. Problem is, she didn't get her education. So now she is working at McDonald's. But she was basically sharing her story, how her mom used to talk to her about this path that she wanted to follow. And she was like, nah, I'm good. I'm making money. I'm good. And then it came to a point where she no longer wanted to do that thing, but because she didn't get her education, she has to start back from the level of McDonald's. And I think that this video is going to give somebody clarity who was watching and wondering, like, do I want to go to school or do entrepreneurship? Should I do both? So I think that is going to give somebody clarity. Like, sometimes, like, especially if you're young, still get your education. People tell you entrepreneurship, but let me tell you something, still get your education if you're young. If you're a bit older or you've been there, done that, and if you want to go to do full-time entrepreneurship, fine. But if you're someone who you're in your 20s or even younger, do not leave your education alone to go pursue entrepreneurship, because you do not know what is out there waiting for you until you actually try. Now, yeah. So when someone comes up to you and they say, I think you're making a mistake, or I don't think this is working for you, or I don't think this is for you, don't exalt yourself and say, you must not know about me. My name is this, I'm big that. Like, just relax yourself and calm down, like I said, because you don't know what's going to happen. Just relax, be humble, let them talk, let them say what they want, and let the results speak for you. Do you know how many people, because they exalted themselves, someone told them 10 years ago, 5 years ago, it wasn't going to work, and they're seeing it's not working out and they refuse to let go. They're 5 years, 10 years deep into something that is not for them because of what someone said, and move on with their life and didn't even remember a thing about. But they have to prove people wrong. So they have to stay the course, because they have to prove, listen, don't live your life to prove nothing to anybody. If they want to be right, let them be right. If they want to be wrong, let them be wrong. Do not live your life to prove a thing to a person. Be loyal and committed to what's best for you. If what's best for you is exactly what they said, then that is what's best for you, and that's what you do. If what is best for you makes them wrong and you right, then that's what you do. So you're living for what's best for you. You're not living to say, I was right and they were wrong. What kind of life is that? This is not an exam. This is a life to live for fulfillment and happiness, etc. You're not supposed to live to be seeking validation and making people wrong and you right all the time. That is egotistical. That is narcissistic. Let it go. Master the art of letting go off of things that don't serve you, even if it's going to make someone say, haha, I told you so. Kill that pride in you, or the pride is going to kill you. The only person that can be right 100% of the time is God. The only person that can be right 100% of the time is a person that is perfect and all-knowing. And the only person we know that is all-knowing and perfect is God. Are you God, sis? No. Are you God, bro? No. So what you do? You win some, you lose some, and you move on with your life. You're not chained to people's opinion and chained to something because someone told you it wasn't going to work out. So now you got to be stuck doing this thing even though it's not working for you, even though it doesn't serve you. Let it go. And like I said, whether you're going to be right or wrong, you have the right to exercise your free will and try anyway to see what the outcome is. And whatever the risk is, you are big and bad enough to take it. Okay? So that's that. Let's move on with the video. This video is about to take a very interesting turn. You've been warned. That's the only warning you'll get. So some of you might have already started doing the thing that you want to do. You already started to pursue these dreams, visions, and goals that I've been talking about. And the results aren't resulting. The results are embarrassing you. The result is not what you were hoping for. The results are making it look like everything people said is true. You are the one this section of the video is for. It is a very humbling experience to have to be dealing with self-doubt and fears and things not going your way, and then have somebody to come with a fuel and a matchstick and light it on fire and completely inflate the fact that it is not for you. It is heartbreaking to have to be trying and trying your hardest and trying to find the faith to push through something, and then have so many negative confirmations through the results that you're getting, and negative confirmations through things that people are saying to you about the situation. I don't feel like a lot of people have ever been through it, but hopefully the people that is experiencing this, they will find this video, because what I want to say to you that you have to understand is that the devil attacks when you are the weakest. I already told y'all, I was warning you, it's about to take an interesting turn. So the devil attacks you the most when you are the weakest. The time to attack you is not when the thing is working out. So the devil, the demons, whatever you would consider those things as, the time for them to attack what you're doing, what you're working on, is not when you're winning. It's not when you already have the validation. It's not when you already have the plaques and the trophies and you are already ranking on charts. It's not when you already went viral. It's not when you already have brand deals. It's not when you already have the degree. The time for the devil to attack you is when you are the weakest, when you are the most vulnerable. He is an opportunist, the best opportunity to attack, because some of y'all think that these spirits are not wise, like they are just stupid. They are wise and they're opportunists. They wait for the right time. So for example, when Jesus was doing his 40-day fast, the devil waited until after he finished fasting for 40 days and was hungry and tired. He came to him and he said, turn these stones into bread, because he knew that was when the offer would be most tempting. And so the devil knows also that the offer for you to abandon your dreams is when the results is not good. He knows the time to get you to stop trying to create your content is when it's at 10 views and 15 views and the followers isn't moving, and it looks like everyone else is blowing up and you're the only one that's small. The time to get you to stop creating music is when it looks like nobody's ever going to listen to you and you're never going to have a fan base. The time to make it look like you should quit school is when you're getting C's and D's and F's, right? And when you study and you still didn't pass. Okay, the time to make it look like you'll never own a home is when your credit score keeps getting worse, right in the time when you're supposed to be thinking about saving and buying a house. When these little things happen, the devil, the demons, whatever, they will come and they will try to convince you, and they will work through insecure, envious people, weak-minded people. They will put themselves in them and speak, influence their thoughts, and have them say things to you like, girl, I don't think this is for you. You know, I think you should give up. I think you should find something more stable. I think you should find something more safe to do. I think everybody's gonna think something as soon as it's not working. Everybody gonna think something. So that is why I'm putting you on your guard to understand that when you are most vulnerable is when to expect the attacks. When you have the keys to your car, does it make sense for someone to come and tell you owning a car is not for you? If you already have 100,000 followers on Instagram, does it make sense for somebody to tell you content creation is not for you? So you have to understand how the devil, the demons work, okay, and how the evilness in people work as well, because some of them, they really be jealous for real. They the jealous spirits I'm talking about, like the evilness in them. They want you to give up. So I like this saying that this guy said. He said that your mind only accepts a seed if the ground was already fertile. I know I butchered that. It was in the 4 Agreements, that book. Yes, so I know I butchered it, but basically the time when your mind is going to be the most fertile to receive those evil seeds is when things are not working out for you. So I want you to understand what is happening, okay? So if things are just going bad, or it's going bad for a little while now, don't let it mean anything, girl, because the time to attack is when you are the weakest. And as soon as you can understand this, even if you're not Christian, even if up until this point you don't believe in God, because I'm gonna say something, like the other day I was like thinking about like my video scripts and stuff, and I was like, some of these things that I want to say to people, it's not even like they have to already be Christian and someone would have already had to explain spirituality to them. So I was like, someone else is gonna have to already have explained certain things to them for them to understand what I'm talking about, like Bible stuff. And that's when I felt like God was like, why can't you teach them? Why can't you tell them? If they don't know, why can't you bring them up to speed? So I'm like, okay, challenge accepted. But I never wanted my channel to be like over spiritual, but I do want to put my truth here. I don't want to be like every content creator. So if you come over here and you hear some stuff that's different, then that's good. Why would you want to listen to the same thing over and over again, right? You don't have to believe in my faith practices and my spirituality, right? But you just listen and you take the lessons and take the wisdom out of what I am saying and apply it to your life. You don't have to like be indoctrinated by what I am saying. But over here, girl, you're gonna hear something about God. You're gonna hear a scripture every now and then, and you're going to hear things from a spiritual standpoint, because that is where I live my life. I don't live my life from a standpoint of everything is just physical. I live my life from the standpoint of there is spiritual things going on around us, and they affect our lives, they affect our thoughts, they affect people and how they interact with us, etc., etc. So every now and then, just be prepared, girl. Once you see my face, once you see my thumbnail, once you see the real Tabia come up, just be prepared for something that's going to be slightly different from what you hear. Let me see if I said everything I wanted to say. Yeah, so you have to understand the time when the offer to settle for less is going to be most tempting is when you think that you're working for nothing already. So might as well you go and you take a higher nothing, because I'm working, I'm putting all this energy into this and I'm getting nothing out of it. So let me go and work for peanuts instead, because at least that's peanuts. Here I'm getting nothing. So you have to understand like how these things work and how your brain work and how you get tricked out your spot. So I'm not saying you should never give up. Like if y'all realize from the other point I was making earlier, I do believe there comes a point where you need to let go regardless if you're going to prove people right or wrong. So I'm not saying never give up. What I am saying is that there's a point when you're doing what you're doing, especially in the early days, when it's just not going to go well for a while. And that is the time when the devil is going to try the hardest to shut you up, to get you to stop doing whatever it is that you're supposed to do. And you need to be delusional. You need to have faith in that time. And the goal at that time is not about big results. The goal at that time is just to put one foot in front of the other and to keep going until everything in you says it's time to stop. When it doesn't align with you anymore, it's weighing on your mental health, if it's destroying you or it's destroying your life, then you let it go. But if it's just a lack of results, that's the only thing that's bothering you, and you haven't been doing it for like 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, then you don't need to let go. You just need to try and stand a bit longer. Like just try to build the muscle in your feet and stand, okay? And when I say stand, I'm not talking about a physical stand here. I'm talking about a mental stand, right? Try to build the muscles in your mind to stand for a little bit longer and just hold on in there, okay? Now, if you made it this far and you haven't subscribed, girl, I'm looking at you like you're a hater and you're one of those people that are not supporting me. So make sure you subscribe, like the video, especially like the video, because if YouTube don't see those likes, it thinks the video was whack. So guys, it's very important that you like the video, and you could leave a comment, do something, girl. Show your support. You're watching a video about support and you're not supporting. Like, girl, what? Bye. Love you.